Hi there, I'm Jake, and thank you for stopping by to check out our second development log for the Gates of Neptune. I'm excited about some different updates that I've been making over the last month. So previously, I just showed off some of the footage of where things currently were within the game, a little bit of an overview. I was playing as the little submersible deployed down on Earth in the future for recovery of a scientific team that's crash landed. Over the past month, I've been working on finalizing the first dungeon. It has a basic structure, some areas more detailed than others, that's been fully laid out. So the entirety of Scene 1 or Dungeon 1 is fully functional. Enemies are in there, everything is ready to go. The last thing that I was working on, the previous devlog, was the battle with the sea worms. I still need a cooler name for them. So that was finished in the previous episode. Right after that, you end up getting the gem that opens up the boss door. So I was working on getting the boss door finished up over the last month here. And that's been completed. That is finished as well. Then I moved on to working on the boss battle with the first boss in the game, which is a gigantic anglerfish that has these cool looking crystal rocks on its tongue. That's going to be something that's seen with all the bosses throughout the game, is some sort of kind of sparkly gem sort of thing. And I'm just going to use that for consistency. I haven't decided yet if that is, something more, I don't want to say magical, because again, as far as the game goes, I'm trying to create a sense of things that kind of feel magical, but are grounded in some sort of scientific logic. So if you, for instance, if you think about electricity, if you were part of a civilization that had no idea how electricity and conduction works, then it would seem like magic. So I'm trying to think about that in the world here for the Gates of Neptune as you're exploring these ruins that would have been, very ancient Mediterranean, so pre-Greek, pre-Roman. Again, we're searching for the city of Atlantis. So I'm not sure if these crystals are kind of like the idea of quartz crystals and how they work. If you are interested in weird stuff, check out quartz batteries and just how electricity is put through quartz and it resonates at a very specific wavelength that you can use for keeping time. It's really interesting. So I'm trying to think of the world that's being created utilizing these sorts of things that are really interesting wonders of nature, as far as power sources and things like that. So with the boss anyway, the boss functionality is completely working. A lot needs to still be done with the visuals and the sound. Right now there's no sound for the boss or particle effects, and that will be necessary. The boss has this one particular move where it takes its tongue, drives it into the sand, and then it pops up and tries to stab at the player. So having some nice splashing of sand all over the place would be really effective for selling the idea here. I also did some recent updates to the player map. I'm still working on working through some of the more presentable visuals to it. Right now I was just working on more of the logic, so that when a enemy is created, then it creates a new UI element within the mini map to show where that enemy is relative to the player. That took a little while to get working, and it's one of those things as a developer, you do things and then you come back and you're like, why the heck did I do that? And so it took me a while to track down a value that I had that was taking the entirety of the map and offsetting it from where the location of the player was in the mini map. So that was fun. But that's all working. That's ready to go now. Super excited that is working well. The last thing that I was working on over the last month was just animating the Lionheart Studios logo. It's been on my back burner for almost 8 years now. So it is now implemented into the title sequence here of the game. So super excited to have that in there as well. So it's been a busy / sluggish month at the same time. These things obviously take time, and sometimes you don't know exactly how much time they're going to take. The boss took a while just to get its programming going, but before that I had to put together a bunch of different animations for being able to dig and dive and stab and die and all the rest of it. So there's a lot of those little bits of the process that sometimes you just don't anticipate how much time it'll take. So hopefully, next thing I'm going to be tackling is once the boss battle is done, we're going to move on to bringing the player to where kind of like the main hub is to the game for where you can deploy and get upgrades by communicating back with the orbiting ship to the planet that you were deployed from. As well as the entrance to all 3 of the next dungeons are going to be from this main hub area. So that's what's going to be moved on to next. So happy with the progress that I'm making. It's exciting. I'm having a ton of fun working on it. But really appreciate you stopping by to check out the new updates here on the Gates of Neptune. Again, if you're interested, it's on the wish list is on Steam, so you can go at it there. There's a lot of great things that came out here beginning of June with Steam Next Fest and all kinds of things. So it's a goal to try and hit that maybe next year. That would be excellent. But anyway, thank you for stopping by and checking out our progress.